Hi, all. On and off during our time together, I have spoken with you about the child who lives within us. I've demonstrated its existence by pointing out to you that adults have no real capacity for fun. And it is only the child within us that gives us that opportunity for joy and fun. I've also pointed out that Sigmund Freud indicated that basic character and personality are formed by age 5. So that child within us is 5 years old. So we have a child within us who is 5 years old, whose only purpose for existence is to bring fun and joy into our lives. I'd like to add as well that that child loves us unconditionally. And one of the reasons it loves us unconditionally is because it owes its existence to us. It would not exist if we did not exist. Now, here's the problem. When we're upset, when we're sad, when we're depressed, when we're annoyed, when we're bored, when we're frightened, when we're needy, that child cannot do its job, which is to bring joy and fun into its life. Now, what does a 5-year-old do when it's unable to do what it wants to do? I'm going to stop here for a moment because this question takes us back to the few moments of our being on this earth, having left our mother's womb. The child was totally taken care of by its mother. The mother did everything for it, ate for it, eliminated for it, slept for it. And the child grew and developed in that watery womb. As it approached 9 months, I can only speculate that some level of awareness was there. So therefore, when the child was expelled from the womb, it was washed, it was wrapped, it was put in its mother's arms. The mother was exhausted. They took the child away and put it in some incubator or similar environment. The mother slept. The child was returned. And now the child felt something. It was in a different environment, and it began to fuss. Generally speaking, we interpret that fussing as a need on the part of the child to be nourished, to be fed, and the mother, using a bottle or a breast, feeds the child, and the child gets calm and falls asleep. So what is it we're dealing with here? We're dealing with control on different levels. And this starts from the moment of birth. Now, this child that we're talking about is 5 years old. The child learned to control because it was born with it. And what was the child born with? How does it tell us it wants something? It fusses. And women have a greater degree of instinct than men do. And so the woman is the nurturer. And notice that the moment the child is nurtured, it goes from, and I'm going to use an extreme, from frenzy to calm. It is over. Therefore, meeting the need of that child is powerful. And since that first need seems to be nurture, so when the child is fed, food is the element that brings calmness. So almost from the beginning of our lives, food and comfort are connected. Now, if we remove food, then the need for comfort is still there. And what I'd like you to simply consider is the fact that almost all overweight people are overweight because they use food for comfort. And on the other end, the child is born with this instinct for fussing. So some behavioral thing that gets attention is built in to all of us to get our needs met. How do we deal with it if we're going to be successful with weight loss? The answer is comfort on different levels in different ways. If you are one of those people who's willing to accept the fact that you use food for comfort, you're going to have to deal with one of them. The food or the comfort, because they're inextricably connected. What I'm saying to you is, if we can accept the fact that we can satisfy our need by comforting in a different manner, then we can be successful in not just losing weight, but in keeping it off. Consider alternatives. We've talked about them. What else can I do to comfort myself as a substitute for eating? Thanks for listening.